So I think I just made this whole review without mentioning whether I like this flashlight or not. Let's throw this on saying, I do like this flashlight. It's really nice. Now I'll let you guys watch the review. Hey everyone, this is the Nextarcher, and today we're going to be doing a flashlight review. This is the Nitecore MT21C. This is part of Nitecore's multitask series. This is a high-powered flashlight at 1000 lumens. And before I get into this review, I do want to mention that this flashlight was sent to me by Nightcore for review. So I do want to mention that at the very beginning. So let's take a look at the box, what comes in the box, and then we'll take a look at the flashlight itself. At the very end of this video, I will throw in some clips of it being shown, the actual beam, both indoors and outdoors. I had a little bit of a rookie mistake, and on a couple of my outdoor clips, I did not have my audio recording. So I apologize for that, but all clips will be thrown at the very end. So on the box here, you can see the special features of this flashlight on the very front. It has a 90-degree adjustable head, as you can see there. So 0 to 90 degrees. It can use two different types of batteries. The CR123s, which are these types of batteries here, and the 18650, which is my preferred option, which I actually have in the flashlight right here. It does not come with batteries, so I highly recommend that you go with the 18650 option. There's a lot of different makers of 18650 batteries, and they are rechargeable. At least I believe they're all rechargeable. Nightcore makes some, as well as some other brands. They tend to, in my opinion, last longer than the 123s, and since they're rechargeable, it's going to save you a lot of money because these are expensive. The 123 batteries are. Okay, so on the box also, it says it has a 5-year warranty. That's again showing the multi-adjustable head, and the features are on the back. So you can see right there. And then you can show, it shows kind of on the side that it is a multitask flashlight, outdoor, work, and mechanic. So what comes in the box, of course, is the flashlight, the instruction manual that shows all the features in multiple languages. Of course, we'll be showing English right here. We have the MOLLE-compatible belt sheath. So, of course, it has a belt loop right there. Has the MOLLE strap that works very well. I used it while fishing over the weekend. And then it has a Velcro strap to keep the actual flashlight in. So we can show that right there. I find that it works fantastic. Some people prefer a button over Velcro. I think this works perfectly fine. And then it has a D-ring on the back. So if you're going to be in, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, very high quality sheath, no drainage hole on the bottom though, which fine with me. I'm not going to be in too much water. Next, it has a lanyard strap that I probably will never use, but it does have it. Has two O-rings. Something I had to the side here was the pocket clip for this flashlight, so you can put it either way you would prefer. I leave this off. One of the things that's nice about it is that once you put it on, it's not impossible to take off. I know on some flashlights, if you want to take off the pocket clip, it will fly across the room and is nearly impossible to take off. Of course, now that I'm saying that, well, it wasn't impossible to get off, so never mind. But decent pocket clip, isn't a super low carry. You can see that it's going to have at least an inch or so out. So you'll be able to grab onto that rather easily. Nightcore warranty service. So this is a little bit of a unique warranty. Not really sure if you send it back into the company. Apparently you're supposed to get stamped by the store. So not really sure how that works. But I will have links to Nitecore's website as well as to this flashlight if you want to learn more about that. 5-year warranty for a flashlight's pretty good also. So look into that warranty. And there you go. So as I said, this is a 1000 lumen flashlight. Let's take a look at the exterior features first, then we'll go through some of these options and the different specs. One of the things I do want to say, I think I've said that same phrase a couple times, is that a lot of flashlights are purely preference based. There's lots of flashlights with certain outputs, 1000 lumens, but if you don't like one of the settings or one of the features, you might not be able to use that flashlight at all. For example, I've had flashlights that if you hold down the button too long, it instantly goes to strobe. And I'm not a fan of strobe. I like it where it's a little bit more difficult. For example, with this flashlight, you have to press this button 3 times rather than maybe 2 to activate strobe, which I like because I don't like accidentally turning on strobe when I'm in a room or something like that. But it is still relatively easy to activate. So going on the actual features of this flashlight, you have, of course, the 90-degree adjustable head right there. It uses kind of a detent ball, and it looks like 4 or 5 different detent holes that you can see right there. And it just snaps into place rather nicely. Kind of has a satisfying click on each one of those. Has a little wire right here. I think that's either to attach the lanyard, or maybe if you're wanting to clip this onto your shoulder. It is a nice idea. I would have preferred if it was like an actual carabiner clip, so you wouldn't have to use maybe a separate product in order to attach it. I know there's some companies that actually will attach a carabiner, so you can attach it directly to your shoulder or a strap. So that would have been kind of nice if they had had that. When you go up to the actual head of this flashlight, it does have a hot warning, which when you are at 1000 lumens, this flashlight will get hot. And it will actually regulate the temperature, so it will go to a lower brightness after a certain amount of time if it gets too hot. The heat does kind of stay in the head because it is mostly separated from the body of the flashlight, so you don't want to be touching that head while using this at maximum brightness. It does have a, I don't remember, a textured bezel, so it's not going to be sharp on you or anything, but it is something to be aware of. I prefer smooth, but this is not a dramatic, aggressive bezel. I don't really have any examples around here to show an aggressive bezel, but there you go. This is a side button flashlight, so it does not have a push button on the back. It has one right here. If you press that once, it will actually show you the battery level. So I believe it flashes, let's see, I think it's 4 times. The blue indicator will blink 4 times, followed by 1 second pause and 2 more blinks before entering the standby phase. I don't remember how. I'm pretty sure the blinking actually will indicate how much battery is left in it. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. I haven't really looked too much into that yet. Anyways, going down the flashlight, you have some texturing, enough to give your hand some grip. You don't really have much texturing on the front, but it does have some flat places. Well, that is enough texturing, really. It's just not this checkering. Of course, you do have the flashlight model number right there, and Nightcore and the website on the other side. On the very back here, or the butt of the flashlight, it does have a magnetic base, which can be both a positive and a negative. I found it to be absolutely fantastic when I'm down in my basement because I have metal shelves that I can just attach this to at any direction, and it will shine perfectly well because of that 90-degree head. So I can just put it on a metal shelf. Let's say this is the shelf. Oh, well, this isn't a really large enough piece of metal, but you can attach it to a piece of metal. It will hang perfectly well. Let's see if I have an actual larger piece of metal that it will hang from. Not around me. Wait. No. Anyways, if you have a piece of metal that's larger than this pocket clip, it can hang just like that. So that would be nice if I could actually show you guys that. One of the downsides about having a magnetic base on this, if you work in a machine shop or are around a lot of metal dust, it will collect on here. I actually took, I have a 2x72 grinder that I used to make knives on, and I found a pile of metal dust, and I just kind of rubbed the flashlight in it. So it got all over the base. It was able to be cleaned up, but it did take some time. Maybe, well, I shouldn't say some time. It took like 30 minutes or 30 seconds to a minute of just kind of wiping it off, making sure everything was clean. So it isn't so strong that you'll never be able to get it clean from metal shavings. You can see that. Not really sure if it will affect technology. Let's say it's right next to your cell phone in your pocket. It may mess with the screen or the computer stuff on your phone. I'm unsure. I don't know if, did I just say if the flashlight was right next to your phone? I don't know. Maybe anyways, back to the flashlight. Let's see. So I told you guys about the 18650 battery in here. One of the neat feature, or one of the neat things about having the magnet in the back of it is that the battery is actually partially steel. So when you take the butt cap off, it will actually take the battery off with it, or out with it. So that's kind of neat. Now to the actual features of the flashlight in terms of brightness. So this flashlight has, I believe, 5 different brightness settings. You go to the first brightness setting just by holding the flashlight. I believe it is for, is it 2 seconds? Holding the flashlight until it goes to 0.5 seconds is ultra low, which is 1 lumen. So that's just enough to be able to really read in a dark room. This one is perfect if you are in a room with other people and you don't want to wake anybody up. You can use this to read or just walk around a room. So won't wake anybody up. Next mode, you just click it one more time. You're going into 50 lumens. So that's about the same brightness as an iPhone. Brighter than a mag light, one of the incandescent mag lights. A lot of people will know those, the 2C cell. That's at 36 lumens, the mag light is. We go up to 190 lumens, so pretty bright there in general. 400 lumens, that is a very bright flashlight in its own. And then all the way up to turbo at 1,000 lumens. Now, 1,000 lumens is a lot. you can actually feel the heat coming off of this flashlight just by having your hand in front of it. So what I recommend, if you're going to need the 1000 lumens, use it, but don't keep it on for more than maybe 2 minutes. Move back down to the 400 because that is going to start getting warm. I can actually feel a little bit of heat even though I've turned the flashlight off already. So a few of the other options are the strobe, the beacon, and SOS. So you can triple tap the center here, and it will bring you straight to the strobe, beacon, and SOS modes. When you're in that group of modes, you can click and cycle through those 3 things. I don't like using strobe. I'm not going to use it on this camera. Just because I don't want to damage anything here. I think you guys know what strobe is. I think my favorite is actually the beacon mode. It doesn't say how long it will run on beacon, but I'm guessing that would be a good thing if you're going to go out of camp. Just set the flashlight somewhere and set up the beacon mode. When you're walking back to camp, you should be able to see it, especially if it's at night, because it is going off at the 1000 lumens. Now, in terms of how long it will run on all of these, they said they tested it using the 18650 battery, which is what I'm using now. It doesn't... Okay, so a 3500 mAh 18650 battery. So you can actually get 18650 batteries that are larger than that. Let's see what this one is. This is a 3400 that I have right here, but I guess that's a good size 18650. In terms of that, if you're doing the ultra low mode, which is if you hold it on for 0.5 seconds, that is 700 hours. The 50 lumens is 25 hours. The 190 lumens is 7 hours and 30 minutes. 400 lumens is 3 hours and 45 minutes. And apparently it can run for an hour on the 1000 lumens. It does say that the runtime for the turbo mode is a testing result before the temperature regulation. So this isn't going to run for an hour straight using turbo. It will actually down power so that it doesn't burn anything in the flashlight itself. So that is kind of a nice feature that it won't let the flashlight destroy itself. And yes, the flashlight actually would destroy itself due to getting so hot from that mode. So you can turn this flashlight on directly to turbo mode. Instead of holding it just for 0.5 seconds, you hold it for 1 second and 5 seconds, or 1.5 seconds, sorry. So, and then you're directly into turbo. And you can turn it into a temporary turbo, where the flashlight will go off as soon as you release the button by holding it for 2 seconds. So, let's turn that on. So it's on turbo, and then I release it, and it instantly turns off. So, going down through the rest of this stuff, so it has advanced temperature regulation. The MT21C regulates its output and adapts to the ambient environment, maintaining optimal performance. It'd be kind of interesting to find out what all that entails, whether it's more than just if the head gets hot, it down powers slightly. We'll see. And then it has the details regarding the warranty. So all Nightcore products are warranted for quality. DOA defective products can be exchanged for replacement through a local distributor or dealer for 15 days after purchase. After 15 days, all defective/malfunctioning Nightcore products will be replaced free of charge for a period of 60 months from the date of purchase. After 60 months, a limited warranty applies, covering the cost of labor and maintenance, but then not the cost of accessories or replacement parts. So that's actually a pretty good warranty. So that kind of makes sense why they have this card It sounds like within 15 days you can bring it directly to the company that you bought it from rather than having to go through the manufacturer. But there you go. That is the Nightcore flashlight. I'll let you guys get into the clips of it actually shooting. Okay, let's take a look at the Nightcore flashlight indoors. I have a light to my back, so the flashlight is not currently on. So let's push down on the button, and you have 1 lumen. So you can see a little bit of light, enough to read by. Wouldn't really affect your night vision too much. This is just 1 lumen. We'll bring up 1 level. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head what these different levels of lumens are. I'll probably put it in the description. So 3rd level, a little bit brighter. The camera is adjusting to where it looks like this is not as much of a change. This would be high and the brightest.